Thursday, May 4th is the National Day of Woke? Or at least that's how things are shaping up right now. The National Day of Prayer Task Force is putting on a event for the National Day of Prayer, obviously. And the lineup, which historically has included less than fully solid people, this year is, well, let's get it up on the screen and look at it, because we want to call this out. And there's, if you've seen the thumbnail for this, if you're watching on YouTube or Rumble, you've already seen the other group that we want to mention. But again, let's look at the lineup and see if we can spot a couple issues. Now, the whole lineup, it has some deeper issues than simply just the woke elements, but we can see people like Tony Evans, Francis Chan, Lecrae, Nick Hall, all people that are very much on the woke side of the spectrum. Now, I know some people would scratch their head a little bit and go, wait, Tony Evans? I thought he wasn't woke. We will talk more about Tony Evans as things go along in Wokepedia. We want to be thoughtful and do a good job to provide the evidence to show what's going on. He positions himself as someone who is sort of a bridge builder that is handling racial things, but in a biblical way. Not so much. And his association with the SBC Unify project should be a bit of a red flag on that front. But let's talk a little bit about the other guys and what's going on here. Why we see this as a, whoa, red flag, we got to sound the alarm moment. Now, the big alarm we want to sound is not as much on the National Day of Prayer Task Force, or that we do call on them to change this. We doubt this will get enough traction in time, but we call on them to repudiate it after the fact. If they find out about this after the fact, if they care about biblical integrity, go back and point out the issues. But the biggest thing is the Family Research Council pushing this. If you can see on the image, you can look right up at the top, and it's the Family Research Council. They put this on their social media. They also put this out there, I believe, in an email blast as well. I'm not on their email list. I was told that, but I don't have the exact email to 100% confirm that. But the point is they are pushing it. So let's talk about a couple things just to establish the point. Let us mention Lecrae. So Lecrae's foray into wokeness has been a little bit more documented. So I want to bring up just a couple things, and this is, again, more aimed at the Family Research Council, a organization that is unashamedly conservative, unashamedly against abortion, unashamedly against LGBT stuff. All these things. They play the part of conservative Christian. But let's talk about Lecrae. So again, they're a conservative group, but Lecrae is not even in the slightest. Lecrae has gone out to advocate for people such as Stacey Abrams, the crazy woman who lost the Georgia governor election and then went on to be what the Democrats would call an election denier, although they don't seem to apply that when it comes to their own people. But he's also done a benefit concert or promotional concert or rally. I think rally would probably be the best term for the two Democrat senators at the last election cycle for Georgia, Ralph Warnock and John Ossoff. Ossoff? Two men, again, Democrats, pro-abortion, pro-LGBT nonsense, going out there and pushing this. Now, why does he do that? Well, he reveals a little bit of his heart, and I think this will be the easiest way to summarize it, because we want to keep this nice and sweet and short. But on the day of Joe Biden's inauguration, Lecrae tweets out, "Feels good to be on the right side of history," which of course is the anti-racism, pro-life, from womb to tomb, care for the marginalized, anti-Christian nationalism, anti-abuse of power side. And again, he has clarified over time that the side he's talking about there is the Democrats. Those are the people that stand for these values. Those are the people that are apparently actually pro-life, even though they murder babies. Concerning, to say the least. So why is the Family Research Council supporting someone like that? I think that in and of itself is more than enough reason to raise the red flag. And the Family Research Council should have been using their influence to petition the National Day of Prayer task force to change things for the better. Instead, they are promoting it. Let's talk the briefest of brief moments of Francis Chan. Francis Chan is someone who has, well, kind of become known for promoting pretty much anything and everything, whether that's some of the most off the rails false teachers, whether that is, up to and including Benny Hinn, or that's embracing, any ideology, whether it's woke or not, that he can pick up on. You can go to our archive channel, Wokepedia archive. I'll link it here, and you can watch a video of him sexualizing communion by getting some definitions wrong and then going down the line and then creepily making communion out to be having he sexualizes it. It's gross. It's creepy. And it's very basic biblical issue, errors. It was bad. But let's talk about Nick Hall. I think Nick Hall is a good one for showing off the wokeness and the level that is in some of these people in a pretty good way. Now, Nick Hall has a few different things going on with him. He has a ministry called Pulse, and they run different events that some people may have heard of. The Together Conference. And the Together Conference itself has a lot of issues with errors, false teaching, other things. But scroll down to the bottom of their webpage, and last year they were sponsored by He Gets Us. If you haven't seen the information we have on He Gets Us, go look at our information. We have a nice, big, long, we did a thorough investigation, well over 100 hours put into it to get down to the details, the truth, the information that is important for you to know. Whew. So you can really be informed. That is a long video. We broke it down into segments so you can consume it at a pace rather than just having to sit down and take it all at once. But let's read a little bit from Nick Hall. Nick Hall is very much pushes ideas of systemic racism in the country, describes racism as the original sin of the United States, as in it's baked into the system. We are racist. The United States itself is racist. Racist country that's founded on racist principles. But let's read a little bit of this one that I've just had sitting on screen, tempting you for a bit now. Starts off with a quote from Martin Luther King. A riot is the language of the unheard. Please pray for Minneapolis. Now, clarify, this was posted on May 28th, 2020. He was immediate to jump on to things with George Floyd. Yes, he does live in Minneapolis, so that does influence things. But he was right there to jump on it the second. He was pulling the narrative right off the bat before any evidence was out at all. But our city is hurting after the unjust death of George Floyd, and many are taking their anger to the streets in ways that are destructive and causing further harm. Key in on this, and while many are rightfully upset about vandalism occurring, much more than just vandalism, but I would plead with you to seek to see and understand the long-heard pain and hurt that these acts are coming from, and weep and pray for broken people who are violently rebelling against a broken system. Oh my goodness, he's defending looting, rioting, violence, murders as well. In the name of being against murder, we support murder. He does try and pull it back a little bit. This in no way justifies a single act of vandalism or theft, but we must condemn the root cause. So again, they're victims. They're victims, not perpetrators of crimes. They're victims. While condemning the wrong response. I hurt for those who are afraid and upset, discriminated against, and marginalized for too long. As a white man, I will never understand what it's like to be followed in a store or afraid for my loved ones being mistreated because of the color of their skin. But that doesn't mean I can't speak up, pray, lend a hand, do whatever I can to work towards justice, unity, equity, and peace. It continues on, and yeah. Let's go down to and just read a couple more things. He has some solutions that you're supposed to do. Pray for God to reveal racism in you, and begin to pray for those who are afraid and hurting because of the color of their skin. And then you're supposed to go learn from John Perkins, who speaks on the history of racism, privilege, and discrimination. Also seek relationships with those who are not like you. I'm going to seek relationships. Primarily, I'm going to seek relationships with people who are like me. And how are people like me? They're like me when they know Christ. That is my identity. That's my primary identity. That's who I'm going to go to first. And then I'm going to go to those outside the church, regardless of anything about them. I'm not going to seek out someone based on their skin color. That's called prejudice. And it doesn't matter if you're doing it for a, quote, good reason. It's prejudice. But I'm going to seek out no matter who they are, and I'm going to preach the gospel to them. I'm going to want to see them brought into my family. Then he wants you to donate to different things. I have no idea what he actually wants you to donate to because the website links to a Thai scam website now. But he also says that nationally, he loves the work of the AND campaign, another Democrat-supporting organization that's trying to mobilize people to, young evangelicals to support and vote Democrat. And their leader, he supports their leader, his friend, Justin Gaboni, hyper woke, hyper problematic, on the left, supports all the... It's bad. So why? Family Research Council, why are you supporting this? Why are you pushing this? Why in the world would you do this? And that's not to go into the other problems. We only touched on a small portion of the woke issues there. And again, some of these people have more issues than just wokeness. This is not good. So, Family Research Council, this is primarily aimed at you. Why are you doing this? Why are you supporting this? No, if we want to win, we can't. Well, we can't invite people. We can't invite Democrats. We can't invite Democrats who are actively opposing our values, who are actively opposing your values. Why are you inviting those kind of people in? Why are you promoting them? Why are you platforming them? Why are you legitimizing them? Why are you legitimizing wokeness? Why are you legitimizing other errors? It's frustrating. It's frustrating the levels of compromise we're seeing right now. The levels of compromise in the name of winning. But what are you winning when you compromise so much that you're bringing in someone like Lecrae, who actively campaigns for people that hate you, who himself puts himself at odds with you, puts himself at odds with God, who is one step away, might even be, but one step away from being pro-abortion, one step away from being pro-LGBT nonsense. We know he's for the Black Lives Matter nonsense. Why? Now, why are we doing this little video? We want you to raise the alarm. We want you to go out there Go to the Family Research Council, email them, message them, contact them whatever way you can. Send this to people, send this to your grandma that donates to them. Come on, you know you have a grandma that donates to them. Send it to these people to get them upset. Why is this being done? And again, why aren't they using their influence to push back on nonsense like this instead of promoting it? We're not out here to blast the Family Research Council. We're not out here to just tear them apart. This is not a video of the Family Research Council is woke. No, this is a video about what is going on. What are you doing? Change direction, change course, get people involved. Because you obviously you are having problems with discernment. You need to get people involved that are doing better job at what? Researching. You need to research the people that you're promoting a little bit better, the organizations that you're promoting, and promote things that actually align with biblical, conservative, Christian values. If we're gonna win this fight, it has to be done from solid footing. So Family Research Council, fix this. If you do not, I pray to God that this gets out there and realized before Thursday. Odds are it won't at this point. But if it gets out there after, address it, openly address it. People will not be upset at you if you address it. People will have more confidence in you because you show that you have integrity. A family can't work without integrity. If you support families, have integrity. Do the right thing. Call out the issues. God bless you, and everyone, don't go woke.